Right, so in this video we're going to make the Anafi a bit stronger. So we're going to need an Anafi, some super glue. This is just Loctite super glue, blue Loctite, and the reason for blue Loctite is because if you use the red Loctite doesn't come undone. Blue Loctite will come undone and let you unscrew again if needed. This is what's used on some of the DJI drones. I'm not too sure whether the Mavic uses it as well, and some of the other drones that you'll find on the market. I also use it on FPV drones to lock into the screws, and the reason why you lock the screws in is because of the vibrations during flight. They'll come out of the carbon excuse me, they'll come out of the carbon, so you blue Loctite them in and it stops them from vibrating out during flight. Now the Anafi doesn't exactly vibrate them out during flight, but it will loosen them slightly over time. So we're future proofing the Anafi. We're also super gluing these edges down as well, so you'll see the little clip hole here. On landing a few times these will pop out, so all we're going to do is put a bit of Loctite super glue across that and on the front ones as well. So we've got 2 screws on the top, and then underneath we've got 2 screws here, 2 screws for the arm and 1 screw for the motor on each of the arms. 2 and a 1, 2 and a 1, and then up the front you've got 1, 2, 3 and 4 screws on. This mounts your gimbal. It's not going to affect your gimbal in any way, but all we're going to do is just tighten the screw up basically. And then what else I've got is this little Torx wrench, and the Torx wrench comes from a DJI drone. I think it was the Phantom 3 or the Phantom 4, but it's a little Torx bit. Yeah, so there you go, that's the little Torx bit. So that will undo all of the little tiny screws. Now you can also use the Allen key that came with the Anafi, and the Allen key that came with the Anafi was to undo the screws on the propellers. Now this also works for it, so if you get any Torx bit screwdrivers, just give them a try until you find the right size. It's only a little tiny one. So yeah, all we're going to do is put a little tiny bit of super glue down the edge of these, make sure it's popped in and it's solid, squirt it in, and then we're going to unscrew this and keep it still. It's not going to take the arm off or anything, but it's worth just keeping it still. And so there's the screw. Just hold it in place with your finger, and then just about see a little, see how the screw's gone blue. And screw it back in. You'll feel it getting tighter, but don't go too tight with it. And that's it really. All the screws, 2 at the top, 2 underneath, 1, 2, 3 on each arm, and then you'll see the screws down there. 1, see it there, 2, 3 and 4, and just Loctite all of those in place, and that'll future-proof your Anafi for a bit longer. When you've screwed it all, do one screw at a time and just test the arms, make sure they're alright. When doing the motor one, it doesn't take the motor off. There's the screw out and the motor's still in place. Don't need huge amounts on it, you just need a bit of the blue Loctite to get in between the threads. Keep hold of the motor and screw it back in. And you can do that with any drone, just make sure it's blue Loctite you can get off eBay or the internet or hardware stores, because this will screw and unscrew. If you get the red one will lock it, that's it, will not unscrew again, and we need to unscrew them for maintenance. So it keeps the screws in place, stops them from loosening on vibrations, and that's a bit of your maintenance for your Anafi. There you go.